When Dormammu comes to ravage Earth and the heroes are waylaid, only Doom will be able to tip the scales, but will he be able to? Or will it cost him everything he's built? Well, let's hop into the pages of One World Under Doom issue number 4 and find out what happens next together, shall we? Alrighty then, so this issue wastes absolutely no time getting started. At the end of the previous issue, we discovered that Dr. Doom had spent way too much time playing Emperor of Earth, and in doing so, he had actively neglected some of his more important duties as the Sorcerer Supreme, mainly maintaining the barriers between Earth and the darker dimensions. Again, that might seem a little silly, but then you're reminded about what the whole 8 Deaths of Spider-Man was about, and yeah, it certainly sounds like Victor would be the guy to delegate even when he shouldn't. Now it seems that Dormammu has come to destroy Earth once and for all, and the heroes can do absolutely nothing to stop him, mainly because Dormammu went out of his way to zap them into another neighboring dimension. Hell, Dr. Doom himself might very well have been zapped into that dimension too if he didn't go out of his way to cast 3 very powerful spells, of which we will learn all about as the issue continues. The first spell was simply just to protect himself from Dormammu's machinations, meaning that he can remain in this realm. Dormammu isn't very much impressed, saying that Doom is a man playing at being a god, and that not even his most hated foe Doctor Strange ever screwed up on this level before. Of course, Dormammu ends up eating those words a few seconds later when he realizes that the Doctor Doom he's been talking to this whole time isn't actually the real Doctor Doom, but just a magical illusion. You see, the real Doom has not come to bargain, he has come to fight. Haha, nice little reference to the Doctor Strange movie. Doom not only fights valiantly, but he fights utilizing the Eye of Agamotto and its powers in ways that Doctor Strange never could, mainly forming a arcane torrent around himself strong enough to repel Dormammu's initial attacks. This is a hell of a move, but unfortunately it doesn't last forever. After that, Dormammu decides to summon up an army of demons to rush Dr. Doom all at once. And indeed, for a second, Doom does indeed feel slightly overwhelmed, like he's drowning in a massive ocean. But with his back against the wall and mortality slowly seeping in, Victor ends up doing something rather unexpected. He actually digs deep and uses his magic to copy the powers and skills of missing heroes. First, the Human Torch by flaming on and burning away the demons, and then making use of Cyclops' optic blasts to help even the odds before eventually going in for the kill by opting to summon up Wolverine's own claws with a snikt of Dr. Doom's very own. Very fitting that all of these different super abilities also have their own corresponding words with them. For a second there too, it actually looks like Dr. Doom has managed to do the unthinkable and defeat Dormammu on his own, but oh no, it couldn't possibly be that easy, could it? Once again, Dormammu says that he is a god, and despite all his chicanery, all his newfound power and position, Dr. Doom is still very much just a man in shiny armor. Now that's all pretty rough, but Dormammu continues to turn the knife on Doom by saying that he knows his deepest, darkest secret, and that is that if Doom truly wanted to, he could have defeated him and saved the entire world right away with a single utterance of one spell. The only problem is that that spell would be so powerful it would completely exhaust all of Doom's magic reserves, making him weak, but more importantly, admitting out loud that the only way that he could win is by losing and giving up everything. And of course, being an absolute egotist like Doom is, you know, like someone who wants to finish his foe up close and personal with fake Wolverine claws, he could just never do it. Lose is not in this guy's vocabulary. Though losing is exactly what Dr. Doom is doing right now. He gets thrown in the bay and starts drowning. His amazing armor ripped from his body and the Eye of Agamotto slowly but surely sinking into the deep dark abyss around him. For most men, this would usually spell the end, but Doom is not most men. He rallies and decides to make another beeline for Dormammu, even though he is quite literally weaker when this entire fight started. In fact, all of the muscles in his body, all of his bones are screaming out in absolute agony right now, but still Victor ends up betting on himself, and also the second big spell he ended up casting. You see, as Dormammu moves in for his final killing shot, Doom is able to stop time for exactly 1 minute. This is a real desperation move for starters. Once he plays this trick on Dormammu, Dormammu, he can't play it again. Also, what can you really do in 60 seconds? Well, for starters, Victor gets a little introspective and actually ponders the possibility of defeat and failure in this moment. But again, like the true egotist he is, his mind doesn't stay on that track for long, instead saying that Doom is more than a mask, more than a set of armor or powers. Doom is even more than just a man. Doom is a force of nature, and Doom is exactly who he is. Once the minute elapses, Dormammu is pretty pissed off too that Doom would stoop so low as chronomancy, which I guess is a low blow in the magic community. However, the whole frozen minute and its extended fallout were really only smokescreens for the third and final spell that Dr. Doom cast, which, as we learn in short order, was actually able to magically switch a legion of Doom's own Doom bots with the rest of the Marvel superhero community in whatever dying multiverse Dormammu dropped them off in. Yes, the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and the other assorted heroes of the Marvel Universe hate Dr. Doom with a burning passion and have been doing everything in their power to try and unseat them, but in this moment of pure unbridled desperation, Victor hoped that the heroes' love of Earth and their desire to save it would outweigh their hatred of him, and that as the comic comes to an end, Earth's mightiest heroes would also choose Doom if it meant saving Earth. And so that was One World Under Doom issue number 4, everybody, and once again I continue to love everything that Ryan North is doing with this series. This really has ended up becoming one of the most interesting and most compelling Marvel crossover events I've read in a long time. If the first 3 issues were all about building Doom up as this unstoppable engine of strongman dictatorship, then this issue is all about seeing the House of Cards come crumbling down, as Doom is brought low by the same things that always bring him low, mainly his uncontrollable galaxy-sized ego. What's even funnier too is that it's not even the heroes who end up exploiting that fact, it's actually another villain. Despite all his talk, despite all his pomp and circumstance, Doom can't actually do anything on his own. When his back was against the wall, he summoned up the powers of the heroes who regularly beat him up to try and fight Dormammu. And when Dormammu revealed his dark secret and almost killed him, Doom had no choice but to bring back the rest of the heroes. In fact, that was basically always his plan from the jump, because maybe in his heart of hearts even he knew he couldn't win. This also sets a really interesting stage for the final half of this series. Right now I have to wonder, will the heroes realize just how fallible Doom is and how they can capitalize on this to beat him? Also, if Doom apparently has such a powerful spell in the tank that will end up completely extinguishing his magic powers if he ever decides to use it, is that a Chekhov's gun that's gonna go off later? This was an issue that also ended up being a little lighter on the whole socio-political commentary that's driven the event since the beginning, which is fine by me. It's nice to have a little break here and there. But I do hope they circle back to it by the end. They've done such a good job showcasing how Doom can corrupt those around him and win hearts and minds. I want to see how the Avengers ultimately undermine that in the end. Overall, I would give this one another very strong 8.5 out of 10. Good stuff. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.